said,
What do you
the young guy, and they brought him.
Yeah, get a place at the mill and then you
Yeah.
can do whatever.
Mills, yeah.
Sounds great.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for all our committee members
It's
for
great.
being here. It's greatly appreciated. I'd like to call the Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee meeting to order for Monday, December 12th. First order of business is approve the minutes of the prior committee meeting. Hopefully we've had an opportunity to review those. Motion by Supervisor McDevitt. For a second Supervisor Driscoll. Any discussion or questions on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Carry. We just have one department on the agenda today. That's the Office of Emergency Services, and our Director, Amory Mason, is here. You got three items. Amory will take the first two combined unless there's any objection. That's a request to fill the position of Deputy Director of Emergency Services, and the second is to fill the position of Assistant Emergency Services Coordinator. And I believe we've received a chart. I know an organizational chart. We talked about this at the last meeting. And I personally was not clear on some of the issues, so I appreciate everyone coming back to discuss this again. Let me turn it over to Anne Marie.
So the first position we are looking to fill is the Deputy Director of Emergency Services. And the second one is the Assistant Emergency Services Coordinator. Any questions on that or?
I'll move it to get it on for discussion.
Second Supervisor Bramer. Discussion. Supervisor Bramer.
Sure, thanks. Since the last meeting, I have had an opportunity to speak with our director about her plans on these two positions, so I feel comfortable moving forward, but maybe she could elaborate on what we have here on the sheet, just to kind of go over what you went over with me on the phone.
Sure. So what we have here on the sheets is I provided a breakdown of the salaries and the LEMPD grant that would be applied to the Deputy Director salary. So that is also on there as well, indicating that there would be an increase of $11,345 to our budget for those two positions. The Assistant Emergency Services Coordinator position is definitely a well-needed position. The person who is our office specialist right now has been basically doing that job description for the last several years, and I think it's necessary that we use for her. And I also included our org charts from 2022 and what the org chart would look like in 2023. I left the unfunded positions on there just so that you can see that where things would fall out. The unfunded positions will be left that way through 2023.
Let me ask one question quick for Supervisor Siebert. What's the bottom line in terms of the budget?
The bottom line in terms of the budget was an increase of $11,345 to the OES budget.
New money.
Yes.
Supervisor Siebert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I just want to be clear that I understand it, because at first I heard they were deleted, but they're unfunded in the 2023 budget, not deleted.
Correct.
And if you were to fill those, obviously then there'd be an additional cost for filling them. But right now as it stands, it's an increase of 11 and you'll continue to pursue.
Yes.
Grant.
Yes.
And she'll still, or he will still be pursuing or responsible for a lot of the paperwork and administrative work until you're able to find the funding for the office specialist.
Yes. Yes. We were looking at projecting possibly a part-time need in that particular area. And right now, I think going forward, what we can do is monitor the amount of the workload and do some redistribution as well to help pick up some of that. So,
I appreciate the updated chart and the full scope of the picture. Thank you.
Emery, so I assume your request here in terms of the administrative work of the office specialist, you're not going to be coming back to this committee in a few months and saying, oh, we realize now that we need office staff.
I don't know if it'll be that soon. I think we'll be able to manage quite a ways. depending, we'll see, I think we've got a good plan in place to make sure we can redistribute some of those responsibilities and be able to take care of that, but. Again, if necessary, we would come back to committee to see if it's something we would possibly need in the future.
Supervisor Driscoll.
Thank you, Chairman. The charts are very helpful. Going back to my own personal experiences, oftentimes in the past, I've been asked to develop a 10-year matrix, which lists the changes in the evolution of particular programs. We had 10 different initiatives in the year 2013. We had 11 in 2000, and the following year we dropped down to 8. But it just shows the evolution, and in most cases, it seems to me, with COVID, with more need to develop the different types of domestic terrorism prevention planning, that there's more work. That's not to take away from the past efforts of administrations or staff people, but just state and federal government mandate that you do more, and unfortunately, they don't always give you more as far as resources to manage that. So I'm not asking you to do more work, but maybe give some thought to kind of like a simple comparison, or like I said, a matrix that explains kind of the workload and job responsibilities over like maybe a 10-year lifespan.
Yep, exactly. And that's kind of what I'm planning to do, because you can see, like with this, the next thing that's on the agenda was an additional plan that the department is responsible for now. So as we keep growing, the state and federal government can give us new initiatives that we have to keep adding to the plate. So we have to just keep an eye on that going forward and see how things trend, if they trend up or they trend down, and we can adjust based on that. Yep. Right now, the department's responsible for 24 plans that have to be, the majority of them have to be updated, trained on, and exercised on a yearly basis.
Other question, Supervisor.
No, just a comment, if I may. The national statistics as it relates to incidents that occur nationally, young men with assault weapons, it's like 1 a week nationally. Okay, so it is like a cancer. It's a disease that's occurring, and nobody, I certainly can't explain kind of what's going on, but there's so the fact that we're putting in place a minimum of effort in terms of trying to assess that threat is just being careful about the environment we live in. So thank you for that.
So let's finalize items 1 and 2. Is there any other discussion or questions on the request for the organizational structure? We have a motion. We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. All right, we started discussion on the item number 3. This is a result of an executive order that every county in the state must prepare a domestic terrorism plan. So this is a request to approve the draft Warren County Domestic Terrorism Plan. Anne-Marie, any other details you want?
So this plan, initially, the state had required the plan to be uploaded onto New York State Response by December 31st. What they have done in the meantime is allowed us to upload a draft plan to meet that deadline. They still have not awarded any grant funding for this yet. We have not heard anything back. Right now, it's was waiting signatures or approval from the state. So it's moving, but it's not progressing fast. So they've decided to accept the draft plan. So we have our draft plan ready, and it's ready to upload as soon as we get the okay after Friday's board meeting. And the plan basically, we're looking at having members on the team. We're going to form a threat assessment management team. We share resources with Washington County, so the team will cover both Warren and Washington counties. It'll have law enforcement, mental health professionals on it, school officials, a whole host of people are being requested to participate in this and help us and support the plan. So kind of where we're heading with this, and hopefully we can combat some domestic terrorism before it even becomes that. This program is basically going to be something that would take referrals and try to give people off ramps from this type of behavior. So that way we don't have to add to the statistics. We can take away from that, hopefully.
All right, thank you. Motion to move this request to move the draft plan before the entire board. Supervisor Driscoll, second, Supervisor McDevitt. Any further questions or discussions for Anne Marie? All those in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Emery, I know you don't have any discussion items or pending items, but I've got two questions for you. One on the emergency alert system that the board approved. What's the status of that?
We have just one more item to do, and then we can get that up and running and out there for people to go out, find the app, download it to their phones, and ready to go. Yep, we just had to get them into Google and the iOS platform, so that way they can get.
Do you have a rough idea, 30 days, 60 days?
Oh, God, it'll be way less than, it'll be less than a month. It'll probably be in a matter of a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yep.
And then will you meet with the entire board and an explanation of how it can be used and the appropriate times? All right, thank you. Second thing is, we've all received, when I say all, the towns have received the hazard mitigation plan, the 5-year plan that needs to be updated. We have a contractor that's compiling information. I can speak for myself that, we don't have, most of us don't have planning departments or building departments where a lot of this information needs to come from. So there's some assistance that is needed on behalf of your office and the contractor, which I believe is Tetra Tech.
It's Tetra Tech, yes.
So, and I'm not sure if there's any other supervisor here that may be in a similar situation. But there's a lot of work and it's not something that we typically do on a daily basis. So that assistance would be greatly
Yes,
appreciated.
so the person we're working with Tetra Tech is willing to meet with supervisors on one-on-one. If any of you or any of the supervisors have the need to do that, she can do that as well. And Jim Lieberman is also there for assistance. If needed, he can help out as well. So yeah, we're definitely gonna make ourselves available. And if you need to reach out, I can have Tetra Tech reach out to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll probably raise that at the board meeting so all the supervisors can hear it as well.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, privilege of the floor. Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, I thank all the committee members for being here today on an additional meeting. And I wish all of you and your families a healthy and Merry Christmas and happy holiday season. Motion to adjourn. Supervisor Bramer. Second, Supervisor McDevitt. Any discussion or questions?